touch the cords as you walk up there, and you would just remain standing when you get to the witness stand, please. All right, thank you, Ms. Smith. Would you please raise your right hand, ma'am? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony that you will give this jury will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under the pains and penalties of perjury?
I do.
Thank you, ma'am. Please feel free to have a seat. Ms. Smith, as we're being recorded here today, would you please state your full name and spell both your first name and your last name for the record?
Roseanne Smith, Roseanne Smith.
Okay.
Most people call me Rose.
Okay. Ms. Smith, let me ask you with regards to, are you currently a New Hampshire resident?
I am.
And how long have you been living in New Hampshire?
Since about 1980.
1980. And how far did you go in school?
High school and then some college.
And with regards to work history, what are some of the different jobs you've had in your time?
I was a child care provider. I am currently a yoga teacher. And I drive for a non-emergency medical transportation company.
I'm going to move this just a little bit closer. So that everybody can hear you.
Okay.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
And there is some water there if you'd like. Feel free to pour
you.
yourself a fresh glass if you would care to. Ms. Smith, you said you drive sometimes for was it a medical care transportation?
It is a non-emergency medical care transportation service, and that is fueled by Medicaid.
And what's the name of that service?
That's Pelican Transportation.
Do you still drive for them?
I do.
And how long have you been doing that?
For 5 years.
5 years, okay. For providing those sort of transportation services, could you just explain to the jury briefly what your day-to-day interaction kind of looks like with a different patient who needs transportation for medical services?
Yes, I provide service to recovering addicts going to methadone clinics, to kidney dialysis patients going for kidney dialysis. I bring people to Easter seals. So I provide a service to people who cannot drive themselves.
Okay. Let me ask you, are you familiar with a person, and did you ever drive a person by the name of Kayla Montgomery?
I have.
And have you ever driven a person by the name of Adam Montgomery?
Yes, I did.
Where did you give them rides to? And I'm sorry, what kind of rides did you give them? What services did you drive them to?
I drove them primarily to the methadone clinics on Market Street.
On Market Street?
That's correct.
When you first started driving them for trips to the methadone clinics on Market Street, where were you picking them up generally in the city? Excuse me.
December 14th, 2019, I began picking them up from Dubuque Street from their parents' house.
And later on, did you ever pick them up from the vicinity of 644 Union Street?
Yes, I picked them up from Union Street as well.
With regards to the two of them, would you drive both of them at the same time, one at a time, the entire family with children? How would you drive them?
I would drive the entire family, and they would go in and dose, and I would sing Baby Shark with Declan and Seamus.
And those were the two children that they had with them?
That's correct.
Okay. And did they have a child with them named Harmony?
No, they did not.
I'd like to ask you specifically about one particular incident in 2020 with regards to a ride that you gave Kayla Montgomery. And what I'd like to ask you about this is with regards to a conversation you may or may not have had then with Adam Montgomery, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You have to say yes or no. I'm
Yes.
sorry. It's how we record here.
Yes.
All right. Do you know the incident that I'm talking about?
I do believe I have.
Okay.
It was
So-
2021, right around March and spring. Well, hindsight is 2020. It was around 2021 that the incident happened.
Well, then that's what I'd like to ask about, March of 2021. Thank you for correcting me. So in March of 2021, would you say, would you or would you not agree that this incident was not like this driving was not like other driving that you've done for them?
Absolutely, it was something I will never forget.
Okay.
And ma'am, I'm gonna need you to raise your voice. It's a big room and everybody here needs to be able to hear you.
Okay.
Thank you.
It was not like other rides.
Okay. I'd like to ask you, when you first saw, did you see Kayla Montgomery on that day for this particular ride?
Yes, I did.
And without going into what Miss Montgomery said, when you saw her face, how did she appear to you?
Her left eye was badly bruised and starting to swell shut.
Did you drive her that day down to the methadone clinic?
I drove both of them that day.
And with regards to, pardon me, excuse me, with regards to that drive, had you driven Miss Montgomery the day before?
Yes, I had.
Did she have that black eye the day before?
No, she had not.
So on that day when you drove her down to the methadone clinic with the black eye, who else was in the car with you and Miss Montgomery?
Adam.
Adam. And by that you mean Adam Montgomery?
That's correct.
Yes?
Smith, I'm going to show you what's been marked State's Exhibit 101. Do you recognize who this person is?
Yes, that is Adam Montgomery.
And this is the other person that you drove in that car?
That's correct.
Were Declan and Seamus with them on this drive?
I do not believe so. I think Kayla said she left them with a neighbor.
Hold on just a
Oh,
second.
okay.
I don't want to ask what Kayla said quite yet. So
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Okay, the children were not in the car with them that day.
Okay. So they were not with him that day. When you saw Kayla with the black eye and you were driving down to the methadone clinic and back, how was she moving in her car? Could you describe physically what you saw in terms of her movements?
She didn't move very much, and she didn't say very much because Adam was in the car.
Okay. At some point in time, did you pull out your cell phone? And can you
had.
and
She had asked to use
hold on just a minute, Ms. Smith. I'm sorry. I can't ask you what she said to you.
No.
So I just want to talk a little bit about what happened in the car.
Okay.
Physical movements, okay?
Yes.
And I apologize. That's on me. I should ask more clarifying question or a more specific question. With regards to the drive to the methadone clinic,
Yes.
did anything occur in the car on the drive down to the methadone clinic?
No.
Okay. And then for the drive from the methadone clinic on Market Street back to Union Street.
Yes.
Let me ask you, the event that I want to ask you about, did that occur when you were back at Union Street?
Yes.
Okay. When this event occurred, where was Kayla?
In the front seat beside me,
Okay. And where was Adam at this point?
walking away from the car.
Okay. And with regards to there with Kayla, what, if anything, did you try to give Kayla?
I tried to give her my phone.
Okay. What did you believe she was going to do with the phone?
She said, well, I can't do, she said.
No.
She wanted to call for help.
Okay. And with regards to that, how was she physically at the time? I know you've described the black eye already. How was she physically when you went to try to give her the phone?
She was shaky.
Where was Adam when you tried to give her the phone?
He was walking back towards the car, but
And so at that point, you said he was walking back towards the car?
I didn't see Adam there. I saw rage. Saw pure rage walking towards me.
What did Adam do as he, and were you in the driver's seat?
Yes.
And where was Kayla?
Beside me in the passenger seat.
And what did the defendant do?
He reached into the window of the car and twisted my phone out of my hand and said, "You're not giving my wife that phone."
What did you say to him when he did that to you?
I looked at him and I said, "Adam, I love you. Please give me the phone back. I'm trying to help you guys."
What did he do then?
He then gave me the phone back and I was able to give it to Kayla.
Did he say anything else?
No.
So that he took, you begged him for the phone back,
I begged
essentially.
him for the phone back. I did report that.
Let me ask about that. You said you reported that.
To my boss, not the police. I reported that to my boss, and I told her that I didn't think I should be picking them up anymore, that I had been very frightened by what had happened. And thereafter, I carried pepper spray.
Thereafter, you started carrying pepper spray because of this.
Yes.
Can you just have a moment, please, Your Honor? Thank you, Your Honor, and I apologize, Ms. Smith. Sometimes we need a minute to confer. One thing I just want to clarify with you, and to make sure that I understand accurately.
Attorney Gotti, if you would use the microphone and keep your
Sorry,
voice
Your Honor,
up,
I thought it was
please.
close enough.
Thank you.
One question that I would like to go ahead and ask you and just trying to clarify is, I know that you testified a moment ago that this occurred, in your memory, that this was back in March of 2021.
Yes.
And I want to ask you whether or not you are sure with regards to that particular date.
I am.
Okay. Do you feel that at all that, or excuse me, have you ever provided statements to others that it occurred in the spring of 2020 other than 2021?
I had to meditate on that. And I concurred with my boss. We have records.
You have records.
My boss at Pelican Transportation has records.
Okay, so let me just try to clarify. So when you say I had to meditate on that,
And I asked my boss.
you asked your boss. Okay, all right. Meditation out loud. So you asked your boss about the date and when you asked to not have to drive them anymore. Am I understanding that correctly?
Correct.
Okay. And after doing that, you looked at some records?
Yes, my boss has all the records of when we picked them up and when we dropped them off.
And after speaking with your boss, now your memory is that this was in 2021 rather than 2020.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith. I don't have any further questions. I believe defense counsel may have a few.
Okay.
And hi, Ms. Smith.
Hi.
Are you able to hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yes.
I'm sorry about what happened. I can tell that it shook you.
Mm-hmm.
But this was March of 2021.
Yes,
No doubt in your mind about it.
that's correct.
When Adam took the phone, you told him that you loved him,
I did tell him that.
and he gave you the phone back.
He softened, and he gave me the phone back.
Thank you so much, Rose.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Very briefly, Ms. Smith, you
Yeah.
said that he softened.
He did.
Softened.
The anger in his face went away, but the rage that he had in his face, and then that knee-jerk reaction that he had to it by snatching my phone out of my hand, it was very frightening.
I understand.
It was assault. Thank
Further
you.
questions?
All right.
Nothing here, Judge.
You may step down.
Thank you.